The man will smile in your face, and he's got something behind his back, ready to stab you in it. It's who he has been. It's who I have known him to be. Hearing me, ain't nobody shivering this way. But when you come into this lane, my brother, it's the equivalent of me stepping on a basketball court, going up against you, asking you not to shoot a jump shot or whatever. This is my lane, bro.
Okay, so yesterday, after LeBron James and Pat McAfee broke the internet with their interview, many people were trolling Stephen A. Smith after LeBron called him out, saying that he's on a Taylor Swift tour right now, that Smith was missing the point when he called him out, and then uploaded a clip on IG of Stephen A. Smith getting boxing lessons. Anyways, with that said, Stephen A. responded back to LeBron on First Take and started dropping some serious things. Have a listen.
Let's get to LeBron James. So LeBron James decides who really, outside of his crew, doesn't really have any friends in the media. Suddenly, he's going to be in Indianapolis, drive into the country and go and do a show that comes on immediately after First Take. Clearly, they were looking at it and they used the upcoming Mind Your Game podcast with Steve Nash to disguise what his real agenda was, which was to address me. Because he continues to lie to the world about what I said and who I was pointing the finger at. To regurgitate an obvious point, when I talked about Bronny James early in the season and I highlighted the fact that at that particular moment in time he simply was not ready, I was calling out LeBron James. LeBron James never addresses that with anybody, and for some reason no one ever asked him about that. Wasn't it you who said that Bronny James was better than some players in the NBA right now before he was even drafted? Wasn't it you who said, if you want me, draft my son? Because you wanted to play with your son for 1 year. Wasn't it you who literally circumvented meritocracy within the National Basketball Association and got the entire media world in the NBA and, of course, the Lakers organization to buy in on that? LeBron James did all of that. That is the person I was talking about as a father, not the father in Brentwood or Bel Air or wherever else he has homes. I'm talking about the father that shows up at Crypto.com arena. Last time I checked, Bronny James is a professional basketball player. LeBron James went on national television yesterday and lied. He said that I have no problem with you talking about the game. What did I say about Bronny James other than at the time he wasn't ready? That was it. I said nothing else. So if that's the issue, and I pointed to LeBron James and the fact that you've circumvented a meritocracy just to get your wish at the expense of the credibility of the league in a lot of people's eyes, that's talking about you. That's not talking about your son. And then he goes about the business of taking it a step further. First of all, let's understand something to the viewing public in America and beyond. This was planned. Rich Paul was on Pat McAfee's show about 10 days earlier, whatever. Rich Paul, for everybody that knows, is the man, the founder of Clutch Sports. He's a strategic thinker. He didn't go there by accident. You're there talking with Pat McAfee, and the next thing you know, within 2 weeks, after obviously a negotiation took place, LeBron James is on it. We know a negotiation took place because we understand that since LeBron had uninterrupted, or whatever the hell it was called, he's been about control. He's been about making sure that things are his way. Us, as the media members, know it because of how his behavior has changed since he's had his own media outlet in terms of how he treats the media. But we won't focus on that too much this particular moment. In the aftermath of that interview, what does he do? He puts out some page about me, boxing and all of this other stuff from a decade ago with 2 torn rotator cuffs. Fine, no problem. It's very, very embarrassing video. I'll be the first to say and all that stuff, even though I like it to be left up there. Because if people think I want to throw hands like that, that's how I throw hands, knock yourself out. I'm good with it. I know that the man I am today is not the man that I was a decade ago, physically or beyond. I can tell you that. So we get that out the way. Why do I bring that up? Because that's how petty you've become. You're LeBron James, you that butthurt over the things that I'm saying, that you would post that video? When has LeBron James ever done something like that? But suddenly you're doing that as it pertains to me. This man is in his feelings. I wonder why. Could it be because I don't believe you're the GOAT? Because I'll never believe you're the GOAT, because I have you number 2 at all times. His son plays for the Los Angeles Lakers. I don't wish any harm upon Bronny. I believe in Bronny. I didn't say anything about him until that one time, January 29th. And I never bothered him before or after. I just stated a point in fact. We want to forget that. We want to forget that other people were pointing to his legitimacy or lack thereof as a McDonald's All-American. We want to point to LeBron James, and we don't want to bring up the fact that he was the one that said on the record, my son is better than some NBA players right now. You want me, draft my son. We want to conveniently forget that. I'm not doing that. I cover this sport. This is what I do. And if LeBron James wants to see me continue to cover the sport, or he wants to have a problem with me continues to cover the sport, but LeBron James at the end of the day wants to come at me and he's walking around pouting. Why would he be pouting? The man is 22. He is universally recognized as the Mount Rushmore of basketball. He is unquestionably one of the greatest players to have ever played basketball. I have him top 2. Stab me in the chest. Crucify me. Throw me in jail. Of the thousands upon thousands of players who have played in NBA history, I have this man number 2 overall in the history of basketball, despite Kareem Abdul-Jabbar being a 19-time All-Star, a 6-time champion, a 6-time league MVP. It was the greatest, the most trusted move, offensive move in NBA history with the skyhook. I still had him ahead of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. It's not enough. So much so that you go this route. It's very unfortunate that he has done this. It's very unfortunate that he has tried to ostracize me amongst the NBA community and the sports world and beyond, talking about how I talk about I'm pooping on the players and all of this other stuff. They don't bring up all the time we praise the players. I applaud them when they win. I criticize them when they're messing up in an effort to make sure that you don't do it again. I'm not wishing anybody to fail, but I have to call it how I see it, because I have an audience to answer to. These players, I don't get paid to talk to you. I get paid to talk about you. But I am happy to talk to you anytime you want to. I offered LeBron James that opportunity in his camp years ago. They passed. I said, I'll come wherever you want me to come. You don't have to come on my platform. I'll come on yours. He passed. I said, I don't want any editing. I want the audience. I want America. I want the world to hear it live, authentic, and in living color. I can say that to him right now. Ain't nobody hiding. But the bottom line is, I don't anticipate he's going to take me up on that offer, just for the same reason he came up to me courtside instead of meeting me in the back in the locker room so we could talk man to man. He doesn't want a rebuttal. He doesn't want any pushback. He just wants to say what he said like he did on courtside and then depart, but looks right up to the camera that's behind us that I never saw, who was filming it all along. The man orchestrates stuff. The man will smile in your face, and he's got something behind his back, ready to stab you in it. It's who he has been. It's who I have known him to be. It's why he doesn't like me, because he knows I know it, and it's why I certainly don't like him. But it's not going to stop me from being professional at all times. America, the world. I work for ESPN. I will not dishonor this network. I will not dishonor this profession by being unprofessional when it comes to somebody I don't like. Hearing me, ain't nobody shivering this way. I don't care what he feels or what he has to say. I stand by the things that I said. I have never, ever gone after somebody's family, and I would never do that. And he is creating this narrative because he can't accept the fact that I won't kiss the ring and acknowledge him as the greatest ever. Why? Because he is not. But when you come into this lane, my brother, it's the equivalent of me stepping on a basketball court, going up against you, asking you not to shoot a jump shot or whatever. This is my lane, bro.